Starting with our ship tour of the Holland America Rotterdam. Deck 1, starting out on the bottom accessible part of the ship. With midship, we've got the art gallery. Currently don't have any art display, but when they do, it is really pretty. Nice place to look at. A lot of their elevator stairway areas look like this. And again, this one's midship. Other than the art gallery, there's really not much on deck 1 other than cabins and public restrooms. So we'll move on to deck 2. Continuing on deck 2, we're shipped forward. This is the main theater. It's a very spacious theater. They'll play various shows here at night, usually 2 times a night. Theater's accessible from deck 2 and deck 3 forward. We're currently, like I said, on deck 2. The entrance from deck 3 is up there. As we weave through the entrance exit here on the port side. Similar entry on the other side. We continue on back towards the back of the ship. And I apologize, we are on a sea day and the seas are a little rough today, although not terrible. Here on the port side, we how's it going?
It's a little bit wobbly.
Yeah, it is today. Here we continue on moving aft. We have the billboard on board bar club. Here typically they hold trivias, some games. I guess trivias would be games. They have a piano here with a piano player that typically plays almost nightly. Across from billboard on board, we got the Rolling Stone Rock Room. Gets pretty loud at night, but fun for rock and roll music, and they have their own dedicated bar. This I typically don't see used much, but a Scotch bar. I have seen it used on another similar ship, the New Rotterdam, one time for Scotch tasting, but I may have missed it on this sailing, but haven't seen them use it. Nonetheless, we continue on, and we've got some shops here. There are also some more upstairs on deck 3. But down here you typically have the higher end items like the jewelry and such. Across from the shops, we've got the BB King's Blues Club. Here they host a lot of music events, game shows at night. It's a fun place to lounge out at and have a drink. Continuing on, more shops. Today they have a lot of this stuff set up on the outside hallway here. We continue on and we get to the point where we're midship now here with the midship stairway and elevators. Here we have a bar. It's midship. Across from which is the atrium. And then as well, continuing past the atrium, you've got the Pinnacle Grill, one of their specialty restaurants, the first one we see on this tour. Typically they have your steaks, that type of food there.
Round of applause for all of you.
Any reservations needed to be made, you
And anyone else want to have a picture with these two gentlemen here in front of our side, please feel free to come forward to have a picture taken with the captain.
We have Rudy
Thank you very much for
Seldamar,
joining. Have a
specially
wonderful
dining
day.
restaurant
Thank
there.
you.
Known for their seafood, I think, although I've never partaken in either of those two restaurants as far as specialty dining. We have the Half Moon Bar here as we continue and move aft. Here it's a nice classy bar. They'll actually make smoke drinks here. smoked old fashions, Manhattans. I've partaken in one of those, but I found it's not my favorite to have my drink smoked. Club Orange here, the dining restaurant for the Club Orange members, which I am not one, but possibly looking to be one in the future. So we continue to move around the corner. Restrooms and aft, they're all around the ship, labeled pretty well too. We come to the aft elevator and stairs, and the lower part of the main dining room, deck 2 main dining. Today they're hosting Norwegian type brunch. Obviously the main dining that's included in your cruise fare is done there. Also host different events there at times. On sea days, tea time at 3 o'clock, which we'll have again today on our second sea day. They do wine tastings there on occasion, things like that. We'll move on to deck 3 now. As I've gone up the one flight of stairs, deck 3, we see this is the upper half of the main dining room. I don't really know how they select who sits where as far as level. I've been dedicated to deck 2. I've had fixed seating time from my dining at 5 o'clock, so I've always been on deck 2. So it may be the case that the fixed seating is at 2, open is at 3, but not totally sure. Here we have the photo gallery. I am on this cruise solo, so I haven't taken the opportunity to take photos. Don't need to for myself, but all you do here is basically just scan your card at one of the kiosks. It'll bring up all the photos that you've had taken on a cruise. So that's what I see a lot of the lines have transitioned to, at least the ones that take photos. So it's very convenient to just, and easy to just find your pictures, not in the days of old where you just have to look at them on big walls and just try to find yourself. Here we have one of my favorite spots, the Dutch Cafe. In their cold case, they do have on display different desserts you can get. They also have entree type foods, like they've got a Dutch pea green soup. They've got all sorts of stuff you can nibble on. You just have to ask for it. Some of the hot stuff, obviously, they'll have to prepare. But here you can get your coffees, teas. They even have a bar. Great thing about the drink packages here, as well as on other cruise lines, it seems to work this way, is the coffees are included in your drink packages. So as long as you don't go over the limit on the base package of $11, most of your coffees are included. So here we have the Dutch Cafe seating area. Inside there is a really nice place to sit if you want to take in the view outside. As we weave through here, we've got guest services. Sometimes this line gets a little long and you're waiting a little bit, but even at the length it is now, I've been in this line where it sits about right now. They get to you pretty fast, so it doesn't take too long. Here we weave through midship elevators and the staircase. Nothing that way, just access to the outside, but eventually you hit a dead end there. As well, you have access here on the outside, deck on deck 3 here. But continuing on towards the front of the ship, on the starboard side, we continue into more shops. Here you'll have your more random stuff, trinkets, shirts, hats, things like that. Inside this one you'll find some of the necessities you may have forgotten, like toothbrushes, toothpaste. Here we have an overlook or overview of BB King Blues Club. So if you don't like being on the main level of it, you can get a good view and just hang out on the top. Although this area at night, when they're doing events, I found gets really busy and it's hard to find a seat up here. Moving on, we've got your duty-free shop eventually as we continue on. And the casino, which I'm not allowed to record in because they have it active right now since we're at sea. So I'll continue on. Decks 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8 are primarily cabins. Some amenities to one that I can think of offhand. Deck 5 allows access to the bow, and if they're sailing, for scenic sailing or cruising, and they allow the bow to be open, they'll open it at a time so you can go out on the bow actually. So we'll continue up on deck 9 then. One other thing I wanted to show is there is a staircase here at the back end of the casino that goes down to deck 2, which makes a little easier access depending on if you want to go just straight down from that point to the billboard on board or the Rolling Stone bar. It makes it a little easier. But we got the aft stairs here and aft elevators. They're actually forward elevators and forward stairs. Access to the outside. And if we swing around, a little quicker access to the theater here at deck 3. And a little better view of the whole theater, I feel, from the deck 3 entrance. Alright, now we'll move on to deck 9. So here we've entered deck 9. Not much except for spa stuff going this way. But we'll take a quick look, I just don't want to bother anybody. Back here where we just accessed deck 9 here in the forward elevators. We come to the greenhouse spa and salon, so you'll find their spa services and treatments there. Moving on, I'll make this quick because I don't want to record anybody that doesn't want to be recorded. We move forward to access the gyms. Not in use right now, so that's good for our recording purposes. And as we move into the actual big gym with their equipment, a whole array of equipment to use in the gym. Down this way, more of their spa rooms where they actually do like the massage, acupuncture treatments and such. As we now start to move aft. I haven't really gone into these spots much, but inside there's a big spot type tub with a huge running water jet. Might be able to make out, although this is kind of fogged glass and you can only see through the lines. We come into the midship pool area. Really busy on a sea day today. Above it you can see deck 10. We'll run through there next. We finish here on 9. But a lot of bench seating areas to have lunch if you choose, or to hang out by the pool. Today's kind of a cloudier, gloomier day. Although here they have a dome that they can retract, and they often do, and close it in inclement weather. But if they wanted to on a nice bright sunny day, they can open that thing all the way up and just allow the sun to come in. Here, although it's not open right now, you got the Dive-In Burger hot dog place. They're open from like noon to 6 for really good burgers, really good hot dogs. They got different types on the menu. This is a gelato bar, juice bar. Although that's an extra cost, so I haven't partaken in that yet. Here we got the Lido bar. As we continue on aft, still on the port side. The port side entrance to the Lido Market. You can see in there, we've got the midship elevator and stairs. Might as well jump over to this side and show you what they call the Canaletto specialty restaurant. hand washing stations on both ends of Lido Market to clean yourself at a time. And we have Canaletto. These hours, this is a little after 10 o'clock in the morning. They have it open for guests that want to sit and have their buffet breakfast food in there if they choose. But they'll close it off at night for their Canaletto dining experience. More Italian type stuff, but good morning. I haven't partaken in Canaletto. The Lido Market food is pretty mirrored on both sides, although there are times where some of the corners will offer, one will offer dessert at times, another will offer donuts on one corner, while the other corner opposite will offer yogurts, things like that. You can get almost anything you want for breakfast here. Eggs Benedict, they have carving stations, they'll make crepes, they'll make omelets over here, so you're not going to go hungry. So many options here on this cruise, but all the cruise lines I find are pretty similar as long as they have a market buffet idea like this. You have your coffee, water station, tea here. There's also a couple of small bars for sodas, wine, champagnes, things like that here. They'll have juice stations, again another hand washing station. What I found about the Lido Market is sometimes the seating gets really crowded at prime time meal times. Dinner not so much, because a lot of people choose to go to the main dining for their dinners. But here we've got the aft elevator and staircase. And again, if we go through onto the other side, you got basically the other half of the Lido Market mirrored. They're closing now for breakfast right now, so they've got a lot of their curtains drawn. As we head outside, I apologize for the noise. It's going to be a little chilly for me in shorts and a sleeveless t-shirt. But here we've got the aft deck area of Deck 9, where they have the adult-only pool. This one hasn't been used a lot since it's so chilly on our Norwegian cruise, and it is drizzly. It's a smoking area on the port side, it would be. So you got 2 hot tubs out here as well. I didn't mention it, but the midship pool has 3 hot tubs. There is access via stairs to the top parts here, which would be Deck 10. Through the glass you can't make it out there, but that is the Tamarind restaurant. They have their own dedicated bar there. Here in the back on Deck 9 we have the Sea View bar. And that basically wraps up Deck 9. We'll move on to Deck 10 next. So as I walk up the aft Deck 9 stairs, this is the only way to access the Deck 10 part, which takes you to Tamarind. I don't think it's in use right now, so I'm gonna jump in and just take a recording of, this is a very nice restaurant. So like I said, they do have their own dedicated bar. You're free to come up here for drinks if you want, anytime, even if they are in dining. Obviously they're not doing any service up here right now, so there's no bartender or service for the bar right now. But I have experienced Tamarind dining, and that is very tasty. That was included in my Have It All package as far as my option for free specialty dining, and I chose that. I believe this might be the Mortemolto at Sea, but I'm not 100% on it. But I would think it's somewhere in there. The only thing about spots on Deck 10 is you have to access them from spot 9. So I gotta go back to Deck 9, go midship to get to another spot, the Kids Club, which we'll go to next. on deck 10. So here we are, deck 9 midship, going up the stairs to deck 10 midship, where we can access the club hail, kids club on Holland America. As far as things for kids to do on Holland America, well, there's not much as far as what some of the other cruise lines offer on some of their big ships. As far as water slides, dry slides, go-karts, bumper cars, you won't find that stuff on Holland America. But my kids, I can speak for, most of them, especially 2 of them, really like the club hail. In here we've got the teens club area. Never been in there. I don't have teenagers yet, but one day mine will grow up to be so. You can go out here when it's open, although it's string roped off right now, to access what would be deck 11, which is a little chilly, so I probably won't tour up there. Maybe I'll go up in the forward part of the ship just briefly. So we circle around to deck 10 midship above the pool. We got an array of seating areas. They have day beds you can sprawl out on. The panorama bar, they call it, up here. Another good spot, especially for late night food snacks, probably the only spot that's open on the ship late night if it gets too late, is the New York Deli and Pizza. But they're open for breakfast stuff, lunch stuff, late night stuff. But you're not going to get a huge meal here, typically a sandwich or a bagel, or they'll make a pretty decent sized personal pizza that's really good. But they also got chicken wings. I've been having chicken wings a lot of nights here before bedtime. So it's a really great place to keep in mind if you're on Holland America for a late time food option snack. They'll have a beverage area typically of, here they got morning cranberry and orange juice, looks like, but they'll have teas, lemonades, iced tea. Here we have the pool area. Pool is really getting, it's a wave pool today with the 3 hot tubs you can see. As we move aft, or actually forward, excuse me, I'm just bouncing back and forth on the ship and keep losing my sense of direction. But we are moving forward. You can even use these kind of couches as day beds, but they do have specific day beds, like I've had one you just saw. Ping pong ball table area here. They got one mirrored on the other side. I don't know what the game is down there, but there is some kind of wooden disc game you toss to the other side. Here obviously is the back part of it, but this is a big screen they have. They host sports on there at times, movies at night, towel areas. The thing about Holland America is they just dedicate having towels on the benches, so usually you can tell a bench is free if the towel's still rolled up. Other cruise lines I've seen, you've got to give your card and get towels that way and then return them. So here it's nice you don't have to do it on Holland America. Well, we've got cabins here on 10, so I'm going to stop the recording here for now. Here we're ship forward, moved up from deck 10 to deck 11, and we can move our way aft, although today it's not going to be possible because for safety reasons they don't want people on the outside decks here. But deck 11 here, outside access, will allow you access eventually if you were to go out to, the door opens, but I'm not going to go out. The jogging track, someone's out there. Some outdoor sports apparatus, the sports court, to make out there, and that black netting. Other than that, there's not much more to see on deck 11, so we're going to move on to up to deck 12 next in the crow's nest. As we now come up to the forward part of the ship, deck 12, 2 entrances to the Exploration Central and Cafe, or the crow's nest, a lot of people call it. Here on the starboard side, you have access to eventually retreat, upcharged private area for people that want to pay for that. You get cabanas. There's one hot tub out there for those guests. move in. And here they have a shore excursions area where they have these digital displays where you can click on different ports on your itinerary. You can see the options for sites to see, what there is to do, excursions available. Here they, if you don't have an excursion booked already, you can peruse what they have available. A lot of seating areas here. This is one of my favorite hangout spots on the ship. You get a nice forward view, protected from the elements inside here. Some of those lounges up front are really nice to just kick back, put your feet up on those ottomans. Here you'll find a lot of people doing puzzles. They have a games area I'll show everyone, but they have their own dedicated bar, coffee bar. Here you can get coffees, there's their menu. Plus they might make a few different things that aren't on their menus. More seating area, map that'll eventually show your progress on your trip. We're on our last day, and here heading back to Amsterdam to finish our 7-night cruise. In this area here to the right, we've got a gaming area with, on the last ship, which was almost identical to this one, New Amsterdam, this is the Rotterdam. They had board games, but this is, and I don't know if they've updated that ship, but they did not have the board games in these briefcases like this, where they're nice and convenient and well protected, and you just grab what you want. They're all labeled. I mean, there are some you can see that aren't in these briefcases, but yeah, you do commonly at night especially see a lot of people, families sitting down to a game of their choosing here in the Explorations Cafe. As far as in here, after deck 12, you could access the outside here, and I don't know if this allows access to the show. It does look like it does, but there's a wraparound staircase here that takes you to what they label as deck 14. 13 doesn't exist on this ship as it goes for other ships, because that tends to be an unlucky number. But right on top of us, there's a nice viewing area. Unfortunately, I won't be able to go up there today for safety reasons. I don't want to get yelled at and risk it. But that makes for another good view and a sail away day spot. And that completes our tour. I hope you folks enjoyed.